They will serve as special envoys to me for the purpose of bringing Hollywood, which has lost much business over the last few years, to foreign countries back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Turns out we're wrong. This morning, he wrote, "It is my honor to announce Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone to be special ambassadors to a great but very troubled place, Hollywood, California." Evan Sorbo must be devastated that he was not included in it. Trump may be headed here next week. He is supposedly coming to California to survey the damage and call people names. It'll be good to see him.
Raise your hand if you've ever felt personally victimized by inflation. Keep it up if you're wondering how Biden can brag about job creation while your wallet's on life support. Now, wave it around if you're confused about how we went from defend democracy to watch Putin play real-life Risk. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. If your arm's getting tired, you're not alone. We're all in this bizarro world together, where presidential farewell speeches sound more like fairy tales than reality checks. Let's unpack this mess and figure out if we're the crazy ones, or if it's just politics as usual. Alright folks, let's talk about Joe Biden's farewell address. You know, the one where he's trying to convince us he's leaving office with a bang instead of a whimper. It's like watching a magician trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, but instead of a bunny, he's just yanking out a bunch of inflation receipts. So Joe's been bragging about creating millions of jobs.
Not only was it President Biden's final speech, it was also a chance for the gang at Fox and Friends to take a good hard look at what matters most to this country. Turns out we're wrong. This morning, he wrote, "It is my honor to announce Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone to be special ambassadors to a great but very troubled place, Hollywood, California." The people criticizing us for how we handled the fires don't even know not to block the pillow with their logo. And who better to be Trump's eyes and ears than 86-year-old Jon Voight?
That's great and all, but it's kind of like bragging about how many Band-Aids you bought after setting the house on fire. Sure, we've got jobs, but now everyone needs 3 of them just to afford a sandwich and a soda. Remember when you could fill up your gas tank without having to sell a kidney? Those were the days, am I right? But wait, there's more. Biden's also patting himself on the back for defending democracy. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure democracy doesn't need defending from affordable groceries or reasonable rent prices. It's like he's living in some parallel universe where everything's peachy keen, while the rest of us are stuck in a reality where we're wondering if we can afford peaches or keen, whatever that is. And let's not forget his foreign policy successes, because nothing says mission accomplished like a chaotic Afghanistan exit that makes the fall of Saigon look like a well-organized school field trip. Or how about Putin deciding to play real-life Risk in Ukraine? I'm sure that's exactly what Biden had in mind when he said he'd restore America's standing in the world. But here's the kicker, folks. While Joe's busy giving himself a gold star for participation, his approval rating is lower than a limbo stick at a dachshund convention. It's so low, it's practically playing limbo with Earthworm.
If you look carefully, and the New York Post points this out, it might actually be behind our logo, Joe Biden is sitting on a pillow.
They will serve as special envoys to me for the purpose of bringing Hollywood, which has lost much business over the last few years, to foreign countries back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. He's sitting on a pillow. What are they going to do when he's back home in Delaware? Who are they going to talk to? Who are they going to attack now? I guess it's back to the gay M&Ms. In other words, Trump saw the Expendables 3 on his plane last night and is like...
I mean, when your approval rating is competing with the popularity of root canals and Monday mornings, you might want to reconsider your victory lap. Alright folks, let's talk about Trump's grand plan to save Hollywood. It's like he's casting for a disaster movie, but the disaster is the cast. Who are these D-list saviors? Let's just say it's a real murderer's of careers. So Grumpy Trumpy's got this brilliant idea to appoint Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone as his Hollywood dream team. It's like sending the Three Stooges to perform brain surgery. Jimmy Kimmel called them the 3 horsemen of the apocalypto, and honestly, that's being being too kind. First up, we've got John Voight, Trump's #1 fanboy. This guy's been spreading more conspiracy theories than your drunk uncle at Thanksgiving. He's so far to the right, he makes Attila the Hun look like a bleeding heart liberal. Then there's Mel Gibson. Remember when he was just Mad Max? Now he's just mad. And maybe a little anti-Semitic. He's faced more controversies than Trump's had bankruptcies, which is saying something. And let's not forget Sylvester Stallone. Sure, he played Rocky, but can he go the distance in Hollywood boardrooms? Imagine Rambo trying to negotiate union contracts.
We don't know if it was a rough 4 years or whatever, but apparently he has taken now to sitting on a pillow.
I need those guys to help. These three very talented people will be my eyes and ears, and I will get done what they suggest. It will again be like the United States of America itself, the golden age of Hollywood. And also, the well wishes have already started pouring in. Oligarchy, where too much power and influence is in the hands of a wealthy few. Basically, his message was, I'm getting the hell out of here. You probably should too.
Me no like bad deal. Me punch bad deal. Trump says these guys will be his eyes and ears in Hollywood. More like his dentures and toupee, if you ask me. I mean, when your plan to save an industry involves 3 guys who peaked in the 80s, you might want to rethink your strategy. But here's the kicker. Hollywood's actually in trouble. Productions are moving overseas faster than Trump can say fake news. Jobs are disappearing quicker than hair on Sly's head. And what's Trump's solution? Send in the AARP squad. Now, you might be thinking, why these 3? Well, they've all shown support for the orange turd in the past. It's like Trump's creating his own personal fan club, but instead of t-shirts, they get to play pretend saviors of Tinseltown.
Joe Biden leaves office with the lowest approval rating of his presidency, 36%. The good news is he won't remember any of it. Braveheart, Rambo, and the Midnight Cowboy. He summoned the 3 horsemen of the apocalypto to save us. Learn something every day, you know? This is good. Donald Trump, while everybody's been worried that he won't do anything to help us, Ben Sorbo must be devastated that he was not included in it. Trump may be headed here next week. He is supposedly coming to California to survey the damage and call people names. It'll be good to see him. Too long. You know, all week we've been collecting essential items for victims of the fires in our back parking lot.
But let's be real, this isn't about saving Hollywood. It's about Trump using celebrities as props for his campaign. Again, it's as predictable as a Stallone movie plot, but with less explosions and more hot air. Well, folks, it looks like TikTok might be doing its last dance in the USA. Experts are saying this social media sensation could be facing more heat than a phone left in a car on a summer day. Apparently, Uncle Sam's not too thrilled about TikTok's cozy relationship with China. But hey, who needs dancing teens when we've got C-SPAN, right? Speaking of politics, social media is gonna keep stirring the pot in 2025. It's like the political world's own reality show, complete with drama, plot twists, and probably a few dance challenges. So buckle up, America. Your next president might just be chosen by how many likes they get on their latest cat video. Democracy in action, folks.